Hardcast. Here to support all the children today, including my daughter Lydia, who suffers from autism. We're hoping it'll be a fantastic day, and more importantly, we'll get our message across to the people who need to make this. Thank you.
Hello guys, welcome to today.
I'm here to assure none of our children get left.
There we go. Take two's always better. Take two's always better. Jesus.
We'll get going.
Yes, yeah, we're connected. Yeah, we've exchanged.
Oh, Danny Hardcast.
I'm waiting for my invite to podcast.
Oh! You want to come on?
I'm waiting for podcast.
Guys, there are some big names here today.
Oh, I never knew.
I will get some interviews and that today as well.
I want to come on the podcast.
Welcome guys. The numbers here are amazing today. We will talk to some parents. And also we've got Danny Hardcast here today. And we will get his views on camera as well for today's protest. This is a very important one to me. And I will be joining in a little bit today. I won't be completely independent today. As you know, as you might know, I don't know if I've told you this channel, I have got learning disabilities myself, and throughout my school life, my parents faced this struggle. They faced hardship with our local authority. I'm better than I was yesterday. Guys, you recognise them people there, that person there? Danny Hardcast is here. But we'll come back to him in a minute before he goes and try and get him in. Fuck that thing. Hiya. Now go say shock at your side. Thank you. I'm independent media.
Oh, that's
so basically, I'm a YouTuber.
Oh, lovely.
I go to all the protests within London. And like this one, I was just saying to my live, this one is such an important one. I say yours.
Yeah, it looks personalised. Yeah.
Bless.
I know. It's like bats and horses.
Bless her. Like my parents has been through hardship with me.
Oh.
I got learning disabilities.
Right.
So I actually had to take my LEA.
Right.
They taken to tribunal.
Yeah, I'm at that stage with my daughter.
Yeah, so basically they won it by the skin of their teeth to get me into SEN high school.
Wow.
I went to boarding school for 8 years.
Right.
High school and sixth form. I loved it.
Good.
But the funding.
But it has to be a fight for your parents to get you there.
Yeah, so
Thank goodness your parents did.
So this is such an important one for me.
Thank you for
and the disability community that I sport.
Yeah.
I sport so many disabled people.
Yeah.
I just do the best bike care for a little lad.
Right.
Oliver, I hate his name. His mum was by me. We've got Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And I have seen how badly the school has treated that family, as well as the LEA.
Yeah.
Papers and newspapers.
Put it that way.
Pass it on the LEA.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. It is really bad. How bad it gets. And like, I'm hoping this get loads of views now today for
What
you
do we
guys.
look up on YouTube?
So CP reports.
CP reports.
Yeah, basically my
Okay.
initials.
Oh, okay. We'll have a look. Oh,
Thank you.
Good luck with it. Let me get some more.
May I just see your sign? Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, okay. When the interview asked me like 2-3 questions, I think they heard I had a degree.
So all the people here today, guys, are disabled, has got disabled children, or are disabled themselves, has been through the struggle that they are going through, others are going through at the moment. We will have a chat with some people. We've got SCN who's filming. I'll try not to fall all in this mud.
Yeah.
race up with a shot. Yeah.
Thank you. Like, this is a clear message of today. Education for every child does matter, and Sabre education.
And we're double-siding it.
Fantastic. I was just saying to somebody over there, I got learning disabilities myself, and even for my parents, I'm 30 years old now, but for my parents, it was a battle for high school and sixth form for me to get funding. It just was a funding. My ADA tried to stop me going to SEN high school and sixth form.
I think every SEN child, every disabled child, it is a battle. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, it is a battle.
Oh, it always is. It always has been.
Yeah.
It always has been.
I've got two young sons, 8 and 5, and they're both autistic. And so
yeah, it always
not
is
just here for them,
important.
for every child.
Yeah, every child does matter. Every child matter.
Doesn't matter who they are or where they come from. Equal value.
Yeah, it is, and it actually. Let me just mute this, and I can then talk more. Guys, I'm just muting for 5 minutes.
To be able to act that way, or the knowledge, or even the energy to do that. So I mean, and it shouldn't just be you're lucky.
It shouldn't.
To get
It
through.
shouldn't. You shouldn't have to fight at all.
No.
I was just talking to somebody over there, and they.
Badges, I'll give
You got
Not
that.
yet.
Thank you very much. There we go.
Thank you.
Okay.
And it's just heartbreaking to see.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm lucky enough to be involved with the Save the Children's Wellbeing and School Bill protests, and we actually are organising our biggest one for January, 7th of January.
Okay.
We're organising, it's Saturday, so we're organising a massive march, a national one basically, trying to get everybody together on one day, where there will be speakers from all around the communities, like SEN and everything else. So you guys are free. Please come
I'm
along.
assuming it's on social media.
It will be on there.
Yeah.
Follow the Save the Children Wellbeing and School Bill stuff.
Okay.
It'll be out on there after today.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Alright.
Are you press as well?
I'm independent, so my YouTube channel is CP Reports.
Oh, good for you, man.
So, and I'm a kind of, I used to work in education, and I used to head up all the disability stuff with the college I worked in, and it was hard work. It was hard work. The funding applications each year, I left it, this is my first year out of it. I miss it, but not to a point.
Yeah.
Got the funding application was getting harder and harder each year. So yeah, I better walk around and see other people.
Yeah, keep going. Good for you. Good luck.
Thank you.
That's the challenge for us. Where do we go? He's passed, but in truth we're saying really you need a job. I think we can buy him a moped, that's not the problem, but really what we want in terms of
That was a family, a mother and a daughter, I think it was, guys, wanting the best for their autistic children. autistic children, and it's what this government is doing. I tell you now, what this government is doing and what the local authorities are doing is dreadful. It's really, really bad. And
there we go. Got there in the end.
Get in the middle, man.
I don't get this interview done.
Yeah, mate, we'll catch up.
Yeah, we'll catch up, man. We'll get you on.
Yeah,
Cheers, man.
I follow you on Instagram, so I went over into the mums. And obviously then we listen to you, like to use obviously like Dad's Instagram.
Yeah.
I find you guys are so funny and hilarious. It's just so honest as well, isn't it?
It's probably a bit too honest at times. Yeah, it can be a bit too
But yeah,
honest.
no, I'm good at party camp. Do we have a selfie?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah.
Just when I might want it to come out.
Mind the puddle behind us.
Yeah, don't stand in the
Yeah, let's go.
I'll go next one. The entrance where people are lying.
What are you going to do?
Well, we'll just get real close. Get away from this.
There you
We're going to get real intimate.
I know,
Oh,
yeah.
jeez. I don't go that far.
They're absolutely mortified. Like, what's going on?
There you go. You have to tag us in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem at all. All the best. We'll see you in a bit.
Danny, can I just get you on camera saying why you're here today
Yeah, Andy, go.
for this protest
You
today?
Come back.
And
Hi, it's Andy from the Autism Dadcast. Here today to offer our support to every child that has additional needs. Hopefully we can put a bit of pressure on the government so they make the right decision to ensure that our children and the children that are coming in the future will have the support they need for all their developmental needs.
thank you so
No
much.
problem at all.
My YouTube is CP Reports.
CP, let me make a note of it.
Yeah, well,
CP.
CP Reports. I'm an independent journalist, basically.
Okay.
Also, I want to ask you now something.
Yeah.
I'd like to invite you along to the Stop the the Children Wellbeing and School Bill rally and march on the 17th of January to speak, if you're free.
We'll have a look. So we've got full-time jobs as well. But when is it? 17th of
January. It's a Saturday.
Okay, no problem at all.
Just drop my emails on my channel. Drop me an email.
Yeah, absolutely. So what was your name?
CP.
Your
I'm
actual
in
name,
with
sorry.
this. 1 second. I'm live at the moment. 1 sec.
No problem at all. Look at the YouTube channel and
Yeah, drop
drop
me an
email
email.
about January as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Hayley and Amy, the press part.
Ah, you did it! You're all right.
And then, and that's the thing that went. So then now I see people and I'm like, hi, it's nice to meet you. And they're like, this is like,
Guys, I have to clip that. We just got Danny Hardcast on this channel. I listened to Danny for months, guys. I have listened to Danny. And then have a chat with a couple of parents. Let's have a chat with some parents, shall we? That's amazing. Get that one.
Did I do all right?
Guys, we just got Danny Hardcast on the channel. We just got Danny Hardcast. Hello.
Hello. Did
Guess-
you want to say hello?
Hello,
You
guys.
recognise the bass.
Guess who I just interviewed? Danny Hardcast.
Oh, fantastic.
I have invited him for 17th of January
Fantastic.
to speak.
Fantastic.
He's going to drop me an email and check what he can do and then drop me an email.
Brilliant.
So how's things?
Okay, busy. It's looking good so far.
Amazing numbers. I'm also trying to get them to come and support the 17th as well. Get a couple of them to speak on the 17th as well. So basically it'll be a SEN, R1, R stuff, basically SEN and R stuff really.
So if we make it more about education reform
Yeah.
in general, because obviously the bill may have passed by then.
Yeah, now I'm
So
thinking.
if we make it education reform
Yeah.
for everything, it's like you need, it's a
Yeah, no, I'm
child's
thinking.
right to education, parental responsibility to choose. All of this we need options.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, I had a chat with Sergeant Hart and Simon, a police liaison,
Fantastic.
and I'm begging him to be on it.
Brilliant.
Are you alright? I can't believe I just got a chat with Danny Hardcast.
Oh, that's our one. If it's not the thing that you need to go, where to go, because it's the ones in the red. It's a black hat with a red ring. Well, no, then it's tough. No, it's the only people they need to listen to are the site wardens, and they have the black hat with the red circle. They are the only people they need to listen to. Because if they move elsewhere and go out and they're in the wrong place, that will cause them problems. I don't know what they had on the plan, but they need to make sure the speakers where they agreed, unless they've agreed something else with the people, because they are quite strict.
I know they are. I'm all ones.
I'll come back.
Okay. No, I love that with them. Yeah.
Oh, are they from the SEN tag person? Your tags? Yeah.
Yeah, I got someone local to me that made some, and Alice will use these when he gets to lunch as well. And then I got all of these.
Yes, I love them.
Selectively mute, and it's kind of hard to process. And just having those quick visual ones doesn't disable his communication.
Yeah.
It just gives him away. Brilliant.
Let me get up there for the speakers. Oh God, we're just getting in for the speakers.
Hello everyone. What an amazing time. Our children matter. And I always say, I didn't fall into this work because I was looking for a cause. Unfortunately, my children were being failed by the system. I have a daughter who's dyslexic. I have a son who was diagnosed with autism last year. But that fight started from when he was 1 year old. He's in year 2 or year 4 now. Sorry, I've got 2 boys. And the fight from age 1 to age 7, it's a bit of a long time, isn't it? Just last week I got a call from Cannes, and I've been waiting for an ADHD diagnosis, and they called me. And finally, they're on the phone, and they're like, "We're really sorry. We're just calling you to let you know we haven't forgotten you, and it's going to be another year since we'll be able to see you. By that time, my son will be in year 5. So I just want to contextualise that to say that already we have a broken system. It shouldn't be taking children who started the journey from before they were in nursery to be able to have a full assessment to be in year 5 or year 6, right? So to all the parents out there that are fighting, I just want to kind of let you know that I'm with you, I'm in the fight with you. But we're gathered here today, I sound like it's a wedding. It's going to be a wedding for them because there will be a holy matrimony by the time we finish with them. But we are gathered here today to fight for our children. How you treat children, how you treat the most vulnerable people in society, it says a lot about us, right? And it's a generation. And I always say this is not a SEND issue. This is not a SEND issue. If your child is in school and they're not getting the support that they need. It affects every single child in that classroom, right? So even the way that it's kind of fragmented at the moment to make it like it sends parents and it sends families, that's not right. It's all
Give her a helper.
So let's start with that.
I'll get some child labour probably somewhere.
And we don't want a society where our children are failed and it's kicked down the line. The Institute of Fiscal Studies has told us what parents already know. So I don't know if you saw, just on Friday there was another report, I would say, that came out, telling us what we already know, that the SEND system is broken. Costs are spiralling, provision is patchy, and schools, councils, parents and children, we're all at breaking point. I want to hear if we're at breaking point. Are we at breaking point?
Yes, of course,
We have more capacity for this. But it's not new, it's been going on for nearly a decade. The crisis has been building and the government says it wants reform. Have you ever heard of a reform where they just take away the provision? They don't want to bring us in the room, right? And then they say, well, actually, if you can't count it, because they've taken away our EHCPs, they've taken away all the provision that they're meant to give us, then actually it doesn't exist. Have you ever heard of reform like that? Never. And we're saying we're not going to stand for that, right? I'm not saying that EHCPs are the best, but at the moment they are the only safeguard that we have, right? They're far from perfect and we know this, but for many families, they're the only legal safeguard that we have. And the law in the UK states that it's the family's responsibility to ensure that every child, our children, get a good quality education. That's actually the law. So if you take away the ability for our children to actually have a good quality education, then you're putting on us to literally break the law. And we're not standing for it. Are we standing for it? No! Underfunding is the crisis, right? And that's what we really need to be talking about. It's the underfunding that has hollowed out our schools. It's underfunding that leaves teachers unsupported. It's underfunding that forces parents into endless battles. And when government blames schools or parents, it's misdirection. The real issue is a failure to invest in children, in staff, and in capacity and in care. So there's so many different examples. Schools are closing up and down the country. Teachers are actually leaving in droves the education system, because that's not what they signed up to. They signed up to help our children, but they're not being supported to do so, and they're having to leave. So this is impacting everyone. And there's a real human impact, right? We know that children with adverse childhood experiences are more likely to be excluded, more likely to enter the criminal justice system, and more likely to struggle with mental health as adults. Families with no recourse to public funds face a double penalty. And this weekend we've seen some of the largest protests against immigration, and as a child of immigrants, I'm here to really stand up for that. No child, right, deserves to not be supported, right? The more, exactly, it's like building a house. If the foundations of a house is rocky, the house inevitably is going to fall down. And we have parents who are going through the immigration process as already right now, but they're too scared to be able to stand up for their children because of fear of social services. And that can't happen. And it means that those children are being failed, right? And we know that those children, there's a clear gap between the school to prison pipeline. And I'm here and I'm saying, we're not standing for it. We will stand up for every single child, right? And there is, and again, I'm not going to be shy to say that there is also a disproportionate impact when we're talking about race and intersectionality. We know that when children from diverse backgrounds, black backgrounds, people that look like me, oftentimes are already scapegoated in terms of their behaviour. So at the moment, my child does have an EHCP, but that's because I fought for that, right? But a lot of parents who don't know what an EHCP is, who are already in school and they're told that their child is bad, their behaviour is unruly, and they're kicked out of school, those children are being failed. And we're not going to have that. We're going to have that.
Right? Yeah, good.
Exactly. There's no such thing as a bad child. There are systems that make our children not be able to enjoy school. That is correct. But children are not born bad, and we're not going to stand for that, right? So what needs to change? We need to build capacity. We need to invest in trained teachers, special schools, and support in mainstream classrooms, and also the right for parents to be able to educate their children at home. We also need to intervene early and support children before problems escalate. We need to make accountability real. Outcomes for children and not endless paperwork. I didn't know I needed a PhD to try and look for an EHCP. You know, it's hard work. And I feel like it's done on purpose, right? Every child should have a holistic education. And I'm tired of the different battles that I've had to face, and then there's another hurdle, and another hurdle, and another hurdle. We know what you're doing, and we're not going to have it, right? We need to make accountability real. Outcomes, I've said that part, so next. We need to address intersectionality. We need to not be afraid to talk about race, to talk about poverty and immigration, and that must be at the heart.
That's when I shoot the other way, but yeah, we can leave it in front.
Any reform to send to education must take the most vulnerable into account, and we need to put families in the room. I can't believe I have to say this. You know, parents must be partners and not problems. Decisions made without families are decisions that are doomed to fail. So the call to action, we are not asking for special treatment. We are fighting for the ordinary rights of every child to feel safe and supported in learning and free to dream. Ordinary should not mean impossible. Ordinary should not mean waiting years for an EHCP or a diagnosis. Ordinary should not mean watching your child excluded instead of supported, and also their mental health and well-being severely impacted. Ordinary should mean timely help, cultural understanding, and a system that believes in every child's potential. So today and every day, we fight for ordinary, we fight for dignity, we fight for justice, and we fight for every child's right to thrive. Thank you.
For 2 seconds and I'll give it back to you.
Thank you so much. Alistair, where are you?
I've lost your stickers.
Okay, so you guys have seen him on Instagram talking about EHCPs in the best way possible. So I'd now like to introduce to you to Alistair Barry.
Thank you very much indeed. Hello ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Are you well? I'll speak up as much as I can because I know it's difficult to hear me. It's nice to see so many of you here. If we work by Tommy Robinson's numbers, there are over 5 million of us gathered here right now. And if there was ever someone who needed an education and healthcare plan, it's that man. So, can I just say that I'm not joking either, there are literally millions of us. There are millions of us, and what we're talking about is described as a ticking time bomb. It's not a ticking time bomb. It has already gone off. And what we need is a government that is going to help clear it up and not brush it under the table or under the rug. My name's Alistair Barry. I am a stand-up comedian, but I don't need to be funny today, mainly because Ed Davies coming down later and he'll probably turn up on a hoverboard or something, so not much point in trying to beat him. I should have learned my speech, but unfortunately I've got 2 SEND children and I work weekends, so excuse me if I'm coming off notes. Just to tell you a little bit about why I'm here, I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 51, along with the rest of the entire comedy community. It was a bit of a surprise, but it turned out after living with our families for all of lockdown, they wanted to know why we were such a pain in the arse, and that turned out to be the reason. I also discovered as a result that I have 2 wonderful, beautiful 6- and 7-year-old children who have been diagnosed ADHD. So obviously, as they've got a diagnosis, we haven't got an EHCP. We are, I'm sure, like many of you here, we're going to tribunal because according to someone who works over there, we're trying to game the system. Yes, we're trying to game the system. A system this badly broken could not be gamed even if you tried. Kemi Badenoch, a woman who can't find a culture she couldn't agree with. I mean, she'd fight a yoghurt, that woman. She has said that I'm just another middle-class person looking for a golden ticket. No, trying to bring up my children to the best of my ability. Lee Anderson recently said, all this ADHD, autism, it's in my day, it's just bad parenting. In my day, we just used to call them irritating little gits. Well, you know what? We all know all children have their moments of being irritating little gits, but what we're trying to do is bring them up so they can fulfill their potential and not grow up to be irritating big gits or members of the Reform Party. To be honest, I'm very lucky. My wife and I have worked very hard, and we're lucky enough to be able to have afforded a private diagnosis. Many, the vast majority can't. But we've probably spent nearly £10,000 to get to where we are, which is to have achieved essentially nothing. If that's gaming the system, then I'm really not very good at it. Okay, as many of you will know, if you go to tribunal, if you stick with this ludicrous system all the way through, there is a 98% success rate at the end of it. That's insane, because each child is costing the system another £2,000 per child to get to where they are. That's money that could be spent on schools, on training, on teachers, and most importantly, on our kids. And if you live where I do, on bins as well. The present system is failing everybody, okay? That's my kids, I'm all right, my kids are not, that have terribly... Lloyd calls the send betweeners. They're not going to get into a special send school. They don't have the needs for that. There isn't the space for them. But mainstream school is failing them as well. EHCPs are not working. So you don't have to replace EHCPs. What you need to do is restructure the entire process, because if you look at the vaguest figures, it's about 25% of all children have some neurodiversity, which is why we are fighting for ordinary. Fight for ordinary means 25% of any group is a large section. We need to fight for everyone, and we have people who don't even believe us, my mother being one of them. I told my mother my daughter had been diagnosed autistic, and her first words were, "I don't think so, darling." So that's ridiculous. It's just a label. We didn't have this back in the day. Your grandfather was not autistic. He was just a socially awkward loner with no friends and a large train set. Now we know that this is just we have got better at diagnosing things. That should be progress, okay? That is not gaming the system. Okay, as I say, you couldn't game a system this badly broken if you wanted to. We're just trying to do the best for our kids, and that is not bad parenting, Lee Anderson. That's called parenting. My best friend, who my son is named after, was dyslexic. He was spoken of at school as stupid. He was probably the cleverest person I've ever met. But I think that may have some bearing on why he's no longer with us, because he drank himself to an early... Not just failing our kids, we're demonising them. Okay, we've got, there's a conservative estimate that 50% of the prison population has some form of neurodiversity. If you don't bring kids up and help support them, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And anyone who wants a better society should be trying to help people to achieve their potential, and not create a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're told you're not wanted, you're bad, and you just end up not turning up to school, not getting the education you want, and not becoming the incredibly useful member of society you can become. Look around you, some of these amazing figures. You know some of them are neurodiverse. Newton, okay, Anthony Hopkins, Michelangelo, Christ, even Elon Musk. But every rule has an exception that breaks it. How many Albert Einsteins are we missing because we're not supporting them at the right time? All we want to do is help our children fulfill their potential. I'd like to thank you all for being here. I'd like to thank you for listening, which is frankly more than my kids do. And I asked my son he's 6, Matthew. I said to him, what do you, I'm going to Parliament Square to talk about education tomorrow. What do you want from school? What do you want? And he said his three things were more sweets, less play, and less work. More sweets, more play. So more, I've got it wrong, sorry Matthew, but luckily you're at school, you can't hear me. More sweets, less work, more play, which I think are basically things we can all get behind that, but it actually reflects the fact that his school is failing him at the moment because he's struggling and he's not really having a good time. What we need to do is try and come together to make sure that our children are supported, because that way we will build a better world and we can all come to Parliament Square to come together and fight for ordinary, not fight for division as we saw over the weekend. I'd like to thank you very much for listening. I will leave you now, and good luck. Great being the support for Ed Davey. I think that's quite fantastic. I look forward to hearing what he has to say. But it is actually nice, is it not, to have one party leader who understands that appreciating and accommodating our differences makes us a stronger society, and that is how we get the best out of each other. Thank you very much for listening, and like many of you, I am now off to pick up.
Good man. Let me just
Okay, up next, Jane Harris. Where are you?
Hello everyone, I'm going to try to shout. Okay, I'm Jane, I work for the amazing charity Speech and Language UK, and I'm also Vice Chair of the Disabled Children's Partnership that helped to make today happen. But most importantly today, I am too a SEND parent. And in fact, my husband and child were meant to be here, but they're not here because the lift is broken at Westminster Tube. So you can see, I understand this. But it's because I'm a SEND parent that I can tell you all that I think today you have broken a world record. I'm not going to pretend this is the biggest crowd ever in Parliament Square, nor am I going to pretend that you have travelled the furthest ever. But you people have done one thing more than any other crowd that has ever assembled here, and that is called paperwork. You have filled in more forms, you've got more emails and meeting notes on your shoulders than anyone else that has ever come here. And what were you trying to get through all of that paperwork? You weren't trying to get anything special. You were trying to get a place where your kid felt safe, a place where your kid could learn, and hopefully a place where your kid could make friends. So actually, ladies and gentlemen, you've broken 2 world records today, because you are also the most reasonable group of people who have ever protested here. Yes, so give yourself a cheer for that. Give yourself a cheer for all of those forms, all of those meetings, and also for doing all of that with barely any sleep. It is pretty blimmin' impressive. So if all of us can do all of that, we can change the SEND system for the better. It just shows you what is possible. And we know that more and more people are seeing the need for change. And that includes all of the 134 members of the Disabled Children's Partnership. Yes, that is a very, very big number. All of us know that we can make the ordinary possible for disabled children. And that's because we see that happening every single day. We see it happening in the schools we run, in the nurseries we run, in the parent groups, the youth clubs, and even the adventure playgrounds. We support every single child, from children with physical disabilities to children with lifelong speech and language challenges. And that includes the children here today from Meath School, who I'd like to give a big shout out to. But the reason that is possible across all our organisations is that we train people to support every child, whether they're a teacher, a teaching assistant, early years staff or head teachers. Do you know what? I'm going to say something that may not be so popular here. I sometimes feel sorry for teachers. And I've got to say, I too have had some bad experiences, which I'm not going to discuss, let's say for legal reasons, it's the simplest way. But to be honest, they just haven't been trained for the job they're doing. It's a little bit like training someone to drive a Route Master bus and then saying, oh, by the way, I've put you on the rota tomorrow for the Boeing 747, is that okay? If they cannot fly that plane, it is not 100% their fault. It's an impossible situation, and actually loads of teachers and loads of nursery staff know it's impossible. I want all those staff to know as much about SEND as all of you do today, and ideally much, much more. And in fact, again, possible unpopular opinion flag coming up, I'd like them to learn 2 more acronyms. I would like them to learn the term PDA. Any parents? So PDA stands for pathological demand avoidance. It does not stand for children being naughty. And every single teacher who teaches those children needs to learn how to treat them like equals so they don't feel freaked out at school. And then the second acronym I'd like them to learn is DLD. That stands for Developmental Language Disorder. Anyone from that crowd here? So teachers and head teachers and even multi-academy trust leaders need to know that a whopping 690,000 children have developmental language disorder. That is on average 2 children in every single classroom. And that means that they struggle to understand words. Imagine going to school and not understanding what is being said almost all the time. Even your art lessons and your PE lessons are a total nightmare because the instructions are in words. Every single teacher needs to know how to flex their communication so that those children can learn too. But ladies and gentlemen, there is one acronym, just one, that I want to swipe from the education system, and that is something called SLANT. Anyone else heard of SLANT? So if you don't know what it is, and to be honest, I wish I didn't know what it was, it is a terrible, terrible zero tolerance behaviour approach. And this is what it stands for. I should say, I don't know why so many schools are signed up to this because it doesn't make any sense. And I don't know why so many government advisors think it's okay. So here is what it is. S stands for sit up. But of course, there are children with physical disabilities in our schools and they cannot do that. L is for lean forward. But as far as I know, the Romans did not do that. In fact, they were known for reclining during philosophical debates. And they gave us all kinds of amazing things like coins and like aqueducts and roads. So I don't think we need to ask kids to do that. A is for ask and answer questions. But if you know that 2 million children are struggling with speech and language, you know this is not a choice to ask and answer questions, it's a matter of support, not behaviour. And here we come to something N. And I'm really worried you're going to think it's April Fool's Day when I tell you this one. Just remember that it's the 15th of September as I say this. N is for nod. So we're expecting our children to sit in rows in classrooms and nod like little dog ornaments all day. What if those children disagree? I'm pretty sure that at some of the best schools in the country, at Eton, you're allowed to have a debate and engage in critical thinking. I think every kid should be able to do that. And then finally, in our SLANT acronym, possibly the worst one, in an admittedly crowded field, is T. T is for track the teacher. So, as the teacher moves to the left, all the children
ADHD do assist,
with their eyes.
guys.
As they move to the right, they're meant to do the same thing. This is simply not natural human behaviour. I'm pretty sure when I was at school, I had some good ideas when I was staring at the window, out the window or up at the ceiling. We should not be forcing children to do this. And we all know there are neurodivergent children who cannot make eye contact all day. Why would we set up a system that makes them fail from the outset? So no slanting. And in fact, I would like to set a challenge to any policymaker here before they advocate that. They should try doing it themselves for a week. Try doing it at work, try doing it at the bus stop, at home and in the supermarket, and see how it makes you feel. See if in fact you get reported for stalking. Let's see what happens. And if you're an MP, I'd like them to try it just for a day in the House of Commons, because I think they might get in trouble. And only if they do that, then they can advocate for our children to do that every single day from 9 to 3. So we know that MPs over there and government and Department for Education over there are really thinking about change. And that can feel really scary. But fundamentally, I think that is a good thing, because this situation is untenable. It's untenable for children, it's untenable for families, but it's also untenable for our economy and our society. And as we talk about change, there's one thing I would urge you to remember. The British public are mostly on our side. I'm not saying that they understand the intricacies of EHCPs and SEND support and all of that, they don't. But most of the public genuinely want all kids to have a fair shot at life. They want that for disabled children too, whether it's their sons and daughters, their nieces and nephews, or their next door neighbour. Do you know my favourite fact about SEND? I know quite a lot, I've worked in this field for 10 years, but my favourite is that when children were asked what should change about school, one of their top priorities was more support for their classmates with SEND. They could have said anything. They could have said better school dinners. So the kids know what needs to change. Let's listen to the kids. Let's create an education system that we can be proud of, where every child belongs, where every child gets the right support, and where every child can learn, because it will help them, it will help their families, but it will help everyone. Now that's the positive bit, but this is not going to be easy. There is going to be a lot of work from here on. It means that everyone here is going to have to do something. It means that every one of those 134 members of the Disabled Children's Partnership are going to have to do something. And it also means involving lots of people who cannot be here today because the system has failed them so profoundly. But we have a once-in-a-generation chance to change children's lives for the better. And it will only happen if we all act. And that can mean coming to rallies like today. It can mean signing petitions, responding to government consultations, badgering your MP, or phoning into local radio phone-ins. But if we all help, we can do this. So I'd like you to look around, because I think this is your team for the next 6 months, right? And I think this is a pretty formidable team of people. You've already done all that paperwork, so I really think you can do this. So thank you for coming here today. Thank you for being such a formidable team. And remember, you are reasonable people who've done an unreasonable amount of paperwork. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Just get a quick shot in.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming. We're having an amazing morning. I'm just going to ask everyone if you can sort of move that way. So there's people at the back that can't really hear. That would be great. Just a bit more, just kind of right round. And then if the speakers are here, can you hear me? Keep going, keep going. That would be really good. Thank you. So we've got more, that's it, great. And then I'll hand back to your host.
You okay?
I'll just say I need Hayley. ASAP. Hayley. I'm going to bring her.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on. I'll film it. Go on.
Wow, I just want to say thank you all for being here today. This is such a surreal and emotional experience for me. So thank you in advance for listening to my story. My name is Charlotte, I'm from Plymouth in Devon, and I'm 16 years old. making me the youngest speaker here today. Some of you may also recognise me as AuDHD, FND and me from Instagram, where I share my day-to-day struggles with autism, functional neurological disorder and ARFID, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. And whilst I'm standing here proud and brave today, I'm ultimately heartbroken. Heartbroken because families like mine across Plymouth and across this country are being failed every single day. Being a neurodivergent child in a world that was never built for children like myself is already hard enough. But when the very system that is meant to protect, support and educate us instead shuts us out, isolates us and punishes us, it breaks children, it breaks families and most importantly, it breaks futures. From as young as primary school, I was labelled shy, timid. I looked like the golden child, quiet, well-behaved, exceeding expectations and mature in every way. But inside, I was falling apart. I would come home every day in tears, exhausted, burnt out and emotionally dysregulated. I masked who I was to fit in, copying behaviours of my peers, pretending I was okay, but inside I wasn't. I was far from it. By the time I was 9 years old, I was lying about tummy aches, feeling sick, or having the flu, just so I didn't have to go to school. Not because I didn't want to learn, but because I couldn't cope. I was being left out, left to sit alone at lunchtime, picked last in every group activity. And at the innocent age of 9 years old, I didn't realise that what I was experiencing was bullying. I just thought it was me. I was the problem, and I wasn't meant to belong in a school that every child should feel loved and valued, especially by their peers. When lockdown came, I finally stumbled across the word autism, and for the first time in my life, something made sense. And I begged my parents to get me assessed, but even then, it took nearly 3 years just to receive a diagnosis. 3 years of being misunderstood, unsupported, and lost in a system that dragged its feet. Those 3 years nearly broke me. And when I finally got my autism diagnosis at 14, it should have been a turning point. It should have been the start of proper support, understanding and stability. But instead, my school stripped away my support, not added to it. I was put on a reduced timetable, I was left unsafe, unsupported, and eventually out of education completely. For 927 days, nearly 3 years, I was denied a full-time education. 927 days of missed lessons, missed opportunities and missed milestones. 927 days of being told, silently but clearly, that I wasn't worth being invested in. And when I became dysregulated, instead of being supported, I was punished. I was sanctioned. I was excluded. On my 16th birthday, I was suspended. On another day, I was left alone in my school sensory room during a seizure, waking up with my shirt covered in blood. That's what happens when needs are unmet, when EHCPs are ignored, and when staff are more focused on protecting their image than protecting their students. And yet, this is not just my story. This is the story of children across Plymouth. This is the story of families across England. This is the story of an entire generation being failed by a system that was never designed for us. Unfortunately, this is not an individual case. Send Support should not be a postcode lottery. It should not be a fight. It should not take parents writing hundreds of emails, going to tribunals or begging for their children's right to learn. Education is not a privilege, it's a right. I want you to imagine for just one moment what it feels like to be a child, sitting at home, knowing all of your peers are in school learning, laughing and preparing for their future, and you're not there. Not because you didn't want to be, but because the system said you didn't belong. This cannot go on. Children are being traumatised, families are being broken, but more importantly, futures are being stolen. We don't need sympathy, we need change, and we need it now. Not in 10 years' time. I want to see more specialist school places, so children don't sit at home for years waiting for a provision that doesn't even exist. Proper staff training, so neurodivergence is understood, recognised and not punished. EHCPs that are actually issued and adequately delivered, not treated as optional. And a system where parents don't have to fight every single day just to get the bare minimum. I am here today because enough is enough. We are not fighting for special treatment. We are fighting for an ordinary education, an ordinary childhood, and an ordinary future. I stand here today, not just for me, but for every other child in Plymouth, and every family across this country who has been told, we can't meet your child's needs. Every child's needs can be met. It's just a system that catches children before they fall. So let's make fights for ordinary. Thank you for listening.
Can we get Sir Ed Davey, please?
Yeah, come and put this t-shirt on and then go back.
Go on, do you want to go put that t-shirt on? Go on, I've got it.
Bless him.
Just after the mountain.
Probably more powerful, isn't it, being filmed by kids?
Can someone grab Ed Davey for me, please?
Politely grabbed.
Yes.
I think he's coming, he's having a picture. Yes.
Come on, Ed.
Hiya, welcome.
Hello. Hi everybody. Can I congratulate you all, thank you all for making the effort and coming for this amazing meeting and rally. As a father of a special needs boy, he's 17 now, John, I know how the logistics of doing anything take a while, and how my wife and I have to plan our whole lives more carefully than I'd ever done before because of the challenge of caring for our lovely children and young people. So huge congratulations to you for managing to come here. And the other thing that's so good to have so many people here is that as a carer and a parent, you can feel really lonely and isolated. We're not isolated today, are we? And our strength comes by coming together, and I want to pay tribute to everyone, not just here, but people organising, because I think we could well have a big fight on our hands. We've got to fight anyway, because the current system isn't good enough, and we don't want to lose the rights for our children and young people, such as they are now. So I want to say one or two things. I'm unhappy with the current system. I think the current system doesn't work well enough for our children and young people. There are long delays. I'm coming to that. There are long delays in people getting assessed. When you find you get an EHCP, if you're lucky enough to get an EHCP, so often they don't deliver on what's promised in the EHCP. There are so many challenges, and having spoken to many people in my constituency and my own personal experience with my son John, I know that the current system needs to be fixed. And one thing I've noticed is quite a lot of things, money is wasted on tribunals. You know, why are we paying lawyers and not for teachers and therapists? you know, a lot of these specialist schools, some of them are really good, but why aren't they all run by the state? Why are private equity firms running these schools, charging a fortune and not delivering the quality our children and young people deserve? Why don't we have enough special schools in the areas where we live? Why are our children and young people having to go miles and miles? That doesn't make sense either. So there's lots of things that we can reform to make sure the money goes to our children and is not being wasted. So there's lots of opportunity for reform. But I am really worried that the reform that we might get offered won't meet the needs of our children and young people. And so we've got to monitor this government like never before. We've seen the promise a lot and then not deliver. And what I'd say to Keir Starmer, Bridget Phillipson and the government is this is the last chance saloon for you. Get this wrong and you are out. So, what do I think? I'm leader of the Lib Dems as well as father of a lovely boy, John, who's undiagnosed but he can't walk and he can't talk. We're really proud when he's able to take himself to the toilet, which he can do sometimes. We're really proud when he managed to say, Daddy. His best words are actually, Daddy, get up. We were told that he wouldn't speak, and eventually we brought him back home and taught him, and he began to verbalize, and he said Daddy when he was 8. So I know from my own personal experience, as well as meeting lots of people like you around the country and in my constituency, that we can do better. So things that you need to include in thinking about reforming this current system. First, put children and families at the heart of the reforms. Listen to children and families, talk to them, ask them their views. That's how a democracy should work, and I'm not sure they're doing that anywhere near enough. And here's the second thing. We know we need more special schools and more specialist teachers and more therapists. We also know that mainstream provision needs to be better as well. So let's expand the provision, make sure it's there for our children and young people. That was the second thing we said, arguing for some time, that we need to make sure local authorities perform better and get more support to perform better. And here's one thing, you may not have determined to keep pushing it, and that is when a child or young person has special needs that are quite expensive. The Treasury should be paying, national government should be paying, because that's too much often on a local authority. And what that means is a local authority becomes quite hostile with other parents, as they're always trying to save money. Let the Treasury cough up, so local authorities can work with their local families and their local communities to get a much better relationship with you and make sure your needs and your child's needs are being properly met. So that's another point. My other issues about how we should tackle SEN reform in many ways go deeper. Now, I'm determined that as we look to SEN reform, we don't just expand the provision, but we design it in a different way. We need to identify children's needs much earlier. We need to intervene and provide the support much earlier. But I tell you, I'm fed up of government officials and ministers saying, oh, we believe in early intervention. Have you read that in your local authority strategy? I've read it for years, and then it never, ever happens. And we know it makes sense. It will mean that our children get a better start, that they can be ordinary, that they can participate. So early intervention, early identification, and then action is absolutely critical. So these are the things that I want the 10 reforms to address. There are many other issues from my own personal experience from my constituents that we need to address. But here's my final point. If we work on this together, we can win.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone tell you that we can't. There are... The last government, I'm afraid, had a dreadful record. I am rather worried that some people in our political discussion are trying to say there's too much diagnosis, they're more making it up. You know what I mean? We need a government that cares, that deals with the real issues and makes sure that our children and young people get the opportunity they deserve so they can be the best they can be. So thank you for coming today, and I look forward to working with this amazing organisation, your amazing campaigns in the weeks and months to follow. Thank you.
Amazing. Awesome stuff. Sorry, Barry again. Yeah, do some more shots. Good man. Can't see though.
Haja, are you here?
Right, wait for the next one. That's it. Just be careful. Keep it on the ground. Just the wind can make move it.
Hi, I wanted to just catch you. My name's Sophie Huskinson. I'm from The Mirror. Just your speech was amazing. Thank you. I want to make use of it, so I wanted to make sure that I had all your details. Oh, yes, definitely.
Right here, Sophie, behind you.
Perfect. Oh, hello.
Right here.
We're stand in front of cameras.
Yeah, you just take a step forward a minute. I'm going to go that way.
Maybe if it isn't, come find me and you can film the rest, okay? Just get some shots.
Hello.
Cheers. Literally, when I'm in, I just open it up in case it rains.
Next up,
and then I can see the screen.
Immigration lawyer, Haja Bengal. Give it up.
Lovely little £5 bargain somewhere.
Hi everybody,
Go.
Great to be here. And I think a lot of us are relieved that in our battles we're not alone, first of all. We talk about families, but what I hear and see today is one big family here. This is the family that we choose. This is our family, and we're being forced to fight. Why are we being forced to fight for our rights? Every day we hear about human rights. Everyone's got too many human rights. We need to take them away. Well, they haven't even given our kids their rights yet, let alone taking away anybody else's rights. So we're here today to demand the rights of our kids and to say we shouldn't have to fight. We shouldn't have to fight for our rights. We get told there's not money. There's not money for our kids. We've got no money. There's a big black hole. How are they going to fill that black hole? By cutting money which was allocated to our children. They want to take away the money that's supposed to be allocated to your children and fill their black hole. Are we going to let them do that? They haven't got money. They've got money for wars. They've got money for their mates for supplying dodgy PPE. Why can't they claw that back and give that to us? We'll tell them where to allocate it, where it needs putting, and where not. And what we need to be is involved in the conversation. We need to be at that table when they're making these policy decisions. They are relying on the fact that we are so busy in our lives that we'll just go home and get into our usual routine and forget about everything. The years will pass. They don't need us unless we're a collective, unless you become a vote bank, unfortunately. When we become a vote bank, then they'll listen. That's what we have to become. And we have to fight for our rights. Over there is the highest court in this country, the Supreme Court. It's just over there. And if we have to go there, then we will go there. I'm a lawyer by profession. This is what I do. I stand with you, and I know a lot of fellow lawyers would stand with you. We will take them to court. Doesn't matter. How more can they beat us up? How more can they tread on us? This is a matter for our kids and our daily lives. And I believe the British public will stand with us. I believe that families and people who are parents, who may not be going through what we go through, will still stand with us, because this is about basic human rights. So when they talk about taking away people's human rights, remember, that's our human rights as well. Well, first of all, let them give the rights of our children before they can talk about that.
Kids Duggle posted about you guys. Oh my god.
Only us lot know what we're going through. Only we do.
Yeah.
I cannot begin to even imagine what your days are like, and I probably no one can imagine what my day was like.
I'm not trying to have
There's two guys here today who started a podcast, Autism Dadcast. When I was right at my lowest, I started listening to them. I started realising, you know what, there's lots of podcasts out there, there's lots of people like me, lots of people like us out there. And we shouldn't be punished for it, because that's what this government is doing, and successive governments have done. They're punishing us for what we're already in this situation. We need support, and what is required is extra allocation. We've had enough of words. We've had enough of words being told, don't worry, we're looking out for you. Don't worry, you're in our thoughts. Wait till we get in power, we'll do this. Wait for us, we're going to do this. We're going to take money from there and give it to you. What's in fact happening is we're all made to be divided, and we're all made to resent each other. For what? For just wanting our rights. And this is what I'm here to tell you today, that myself and other lawyers, we're going through this journey. I have a 7-year-old who has autism. I'm going through this journey with you. I'm a lawyer. It took me a year to fight for my ECHB. God knows how long it's taken you lot. And when everyone says, well, what's your biggest case file? And I say, well, it's my son's. This is about up to here. The others usually get finished in about 6 months, so this one's still been going on for 7 years. Everyone has got a massive stack of papers at home, right? Everyone has got the reports and the assessments. Everyone has spent every penny they can on their child. That has got to stop. We've got to have the support. And there they are, sitting there, worried about vote banks, allocating money to causes as we speak. Every day they allocate money, whether it's to themselves, whether it's to their departments. What about us? Where's our money? Why do we have to fight for our money? Why are we made to feel like we're begging for our kids? We're not. It's our right. And we're here to tell them. If we have to go to court to get to our rights, no problem. It's what we do all day. I always say it doesn't matter what the problem is, the answer is education. The answer is education, whatever the problem. But to say that our kids don't deserve the same level of education, or actually just deal with them at home, or we can't provide any support or any specialist places, that's not good enough. You're denying my kid and your kid and this whole family our basic rights. We'll go fight there. That's the court that we're going to go to if they don't listen to us. They don't want to be in board with us. They don't want to take us on. They won't be able to handle it. They can't even handle one person's being outspoken on TV. How are they going to deal with an army? We have our own TV channels. We have our own media. I present my own TV show. We have people here who've got followings of 100,000 on their TikToks, on their Twitters, on their Instagram. Use it. Use your platform. It doesn't matter whether you have 1 followers or 100,000 followers. That one will slowly become 100,000. When we all started, we all had 1 follower, 1 viewer, but this is a collective. And reach out. That is the key. Reach out. Don't let them divide you. Don't let them tell you you're different from next person, they're different from next person. Why should I have to fight with somebody else who's just like me for my right? Shouldn't have to. Yeah? They don't fight between themselves for when they're allocating money. They're all sat at the bar in the evening. They'll be having a drink with each other.
Exactly.
In subsidised bars. Where they found the money for that? Their pint doesn't cost £7 in central London. Nor does their meal. Nor does their Costa and croissant cost £11. I can tell you that. I've been in there. So, if they've got money for themselves, they've got money for their own kids, they sure as hell got money for ours. And we're going to get it out of them. And how? We're going to play the game exactly like they do. We're going to quote the law at them. At every stage we're going to oppose them. At every stage we're going to involve the media. We're going to involve the public, and we're going to carry on doing stuff like this. We're going to carry on raising our voices. Some people are hard of hearing over there. We just have to talk a bit louder. So, let's all send a message out today. Share as many videos as you can. Make as many videos as you can, because you might think your videos don't reach anybody, but actually they do. I've been watching them all weekend, from people who've got 1 follower to people who've got 100,000 followers. To I haven't even met them. I feel like they're my brother Sealton Dadcast guys. I feel like when I'm having a rough day, I'm going to stick their podcast on and help me through it. But so many of us do so many things, but don't. Individually, we are divided. United, imagine all of that strength. All parents, they can't handle the strength of parents who really want something for their child. There's no bigger desire than a parent. You will cross mountains and rivers for your child, and that's what they've got to realise they're up against. They can't win this. Thank you very much. Keep up the fight. They think this is the end of the fight. We've only just started.
Wow, okay. Up next we have our very own Katie Nellis, superstar. Here you go.
Hi, I'm Katie and I've been failed by the SEND system, if the wind will cooperate. I'm 18 and I have autism, anxiety and PTSD from school. I, like most of you here, have had some harrowing experiences in the SEND system, and I have come here today to protest and to ask the government to listen. I have had barely any secondary school education due to my trauma, and this is a tragedy. Due to my late autism diagnosis aged 11, I suffered through primary school unsupported and overlooked. This is not good enough, and it means that I am no longer able to go to school. An accessible education is a human right, and that right is sadly being taken away from many children and young people with SEND. It is a very ordinary want to go to a school where you feel safe and supported, but the system is so broken that it forces some people into inappropriate schools that traumatize them and leaves others who want to be in school without an education for months or years on end. Yeah! Rather ironic given Bridget Phillipson's recent statement about attendance. It shouldn't be this hard to make sure that those who want to go to school can, as well as making sure that other people like me can still have some form of education outside of school. We just want a fair chance and to have the same rights as everyone else to an education. For the past 2 years, I have been campaigning for SEND reform at a local and national level. The system does not listen to its children, its young people, and its families with lived experience. No one asks to go through the SEND system. It is the most impenetrable and adversarial system, and you have to fight so hard every step of the way. It is certainly not a golden ticket to extra provision like some politicians over there like to suggest. For a child or young person going through the system, it is the worst experience of your life. You can be at rock bottom, mentally or physically, and yet still have to explain to the rotating door of SEND officers everything about yourself and the ins and outs of very traumatic memories to justify why you need support when you can barely get out of bed. And after all of that, they will turn around and deny support because you don't have a diagnosis. I have watched my parents cry and come back on me and my future. The system turns families into SEND experts and warriors willing to fight as hard as they can for their right to live a good quality of life in the future. How is it fair that your future can be discarded just because you need additional support in order to thrive? Yeah! If anyone from the government has heard me, hi, I'm a young person with SEND, I'm real and I exist outside of the paperwork. If you've listened to this speech, then you've heard my story, but the story of the next generation of SEND children is up to you. Even though we are young, we have lived through the horrors of this broken system, and we have so much experience we could share with you if you listen and work with us. It is a very scary time to be a young person with SEND, given all the rumours flying around and no transparency or communication from the government. Obviously, the system needs major reforms, but the legal rights of families must remain. EHCPs are the only hope in a system of darkness, and they need protecting so that all children and young people can access them. Restricting them in any way will not work, as needs will only continue to grow until they meet the new threshold. Early intervention is the key. If I had been supported when I was little, I would still be able to go to school. Making mainstream schools inclusive will only work if teachers are trained and schools are resourced properly. If SEND pupils are left unsupported in mainstream, it can be traumatizing for them and potentially making them disruptive for all of the other pupils. I'm saying that SEND pupils should be separated, as the system is isolating enough as it is. Yes. Rather, the true inclusion will take proper resourcing. But mainstream is only one piece of the puzzle, and no matter what you do, some people like me will never be able to cope in a mainstream school. Support for special schools and those out of school like myself must also be a priority. I have come to accept that I'm on a different path to my friends, and my education journey will be different. Right now, a lot of them are moving into uni, and that feels really difficult. My journey will still be a journey that I need support on so that I can have the best life possible. The path to the future is certainly not a straightforward one for children and young people with SEND. There are many battles and hardships along the way, but every person deserves the chance to make the best future possible. That's all we want! To grow up and live our lives, but the system makes it impossible, and we have to fight for the same ordinary opportunities. I hope that the young people of this country will be listened to, and that one day SEND families will not have to fight at all. So take this as a challenge to the government. We are a community very used to fighting, so you will make the right decision, and that the SEND system will be properly reformed. Thank you to everyone who has come here today to fight for us!
Wow, if that isn't an example of some of the children that we're losing out by not educating, I don't know what is. Right, so next up we have the absolutely brilliant Pete Warmby.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I thought 1 o'clock, so now I'm completely panicking. Hi everybody, I'm autistic, ADHD. This is all quite a lot for me, being in the middle of all these people, so if I run away at any point, please don't hold it against me. I just want to say, I think it's pretty obvious by this point that humanity has got education wrong. And I mean that in the broadest possible sense. We have an education system that's been built up over centuries, predicated on the simple assumption that children are pretty much the same. That children work and act and behave in pretty much the same way. And to be fair, it's never worked. Not really. But for a long time, we had very little choice but to just try and get through it. But not now. We now know that lots of children, thousands upon thousands, millions globally, work and think and behave in significantly different ways. Different physicalities, different thought processes, different sensory sensitivities, different ways of paying attention. We know that now. There is no excuse to continue using a system that makes the wrong assumptions. And yet, That's exactly what we're doing. We continue to work under the misapprehension that anyone that's a bit of an outlier, whether they're autistic, ADHD, learning disabilities, Down syndrome, whatever it might be, that they will either not really need an education, so let's not worry about them, or let's crush them, let's absolutely annihilate their mental health to make them fit in for a few years, and then pick up the pieces for the next couple of decades. That is how things currently are. There is, as far as I can see, no denying it. We squeeze any different child, any neurodivergent child, any disabled child, we squeeze them until they acquiesce or give up. And then for the rest of their lives, they are picking up the pieces, usually on their own, because they won't be getting any help with their mental health issues. They probably won't even get a diagnosis. And I guess what that building over there needs to understand at some fundamental level is that this is not good for a country. This is not good for a society. This is not good for the future. Ultimately, if we continue to let our children down like this and force them or boot them to either accept the education we offer or to refuse it, that has massive long-term implications on everything, from the financial to social care to healthcare to everything. But they treat it as they always have in that Victorian building over there, with the Victorian mindset of, well, it's free, we give it to you for free, how dare you complain? I firmly believe that we are still stuck in the mindset of the 1860s, you know, where it was like, well, let's offer education to the poors, you know, to the people. It'll be the bare minimum, you know, it'll be only what they kind of need to go and work in a factory or whatever, but we'll do that to them because we're nice, because we're kind and charitable, us powerful rich folk. And we're still in that mindset. Anyone that asks for more is treated like Oliver Twist. When he goes up to Mr. What's-his-face, Bumbles? What's his name? Mr. something, it's Dickens, so it's a ridiculous name. He goes up to that guy and he says, look mate, I'm bloody hungry. All words to that effect. Can I please have a bit more of this delicious gruel that you're offering me? It's not very good, I don't really like it, but at least it's something. Can I have some more? And of course, no, he is refused. Because we must never ask for more. If we ask for our children to be treated better in the classroom, that is asking for more. And they don't like that, I don't think. I don't think they'd ever say it. They never, well, I mean, Reform probably would. They'd be like, yeah, we love that Victorian stuff. Workhouses for all, they would scream. But I don't think Labour would admit to this. I think they would like to labour under the misapprehension that they are indeed valuing, you know, very progressive about education. But unless you are getting SEN right, you are not progressive about education. No. You can scream until you're blue in the face, but you are not. You are getting it massively wrong. Schools are, and I'm going to talk primarily about autism here because that's my life. Schools are the most hostile place an autistic person can ever be. Don't normally get clapped like that. That's all right. After airports, I'll be honest with you. But I would say that usually with airports, you're only there for a few hours. You know, so it's not so bad. School, it's like, what, 13 odd years? You know, that's a long time to be in a space that actively seems to hate your very existence at a core level. I often make the joke that we know that schools are hostile to autistic students in particular, or anyone with sensory needs, because someone at some point in the past decided that the way to announce lunchtime was with a sudden, very loud, very high-pitched, shrill bell. If autistic people had any kind of power in the past, that would never have happened. But everything about school is designed for the majority. Who here knows about monotropism? Everyone's like, what? Oh God, there's not going to be a test, don't worry. Monotropism states that autistic and probably ADHD children and adults like me and my daughter are better off when we are able to focus on something for a prolonged period, usually hours at a time, really allowing our brains to sink into that topic and really get to grips with it. And what do our schools do? They insist after 45 minutes we've now got to go from English to science. And then again to like maths or French or something like that. We are never ever able to focus and settle and enjoy our learning. It is not built for us, and we were never even considered. Now that was fair enough in the 19th century because they did not know this stuff. I'm being charitable, but they didn't know. But we do know it now.
Yeah.
And every day that passes where the basic information about the vast numbers of neurodivergent and otherwise disabled students is just flatly ignored and treated as a luxury extra that only some will ever be able to be given, we are failing. Yes. And the entire country will fail with it, because we need to look after our young people, and that includes everybody. Yes. Not just the ones that never ask for more. There's another loud thing. You know, like, come on. Honest to God. So yeah, ultimately, what we have to do is just continue to fight like this. We are all here doing our bit in various ways. I will carry on posting my memes about bears. That's what I seem to do best. It might work, I don't know. But everyone here has a thing that they can do, whether it's coming to rallies like this, whether it's giving speeches locally, whether it's going into Parliament and fighting your corner, or whether it's just getting up every day and carrying on to look after your child. We're all doing whatever we can. But at no point should we ever let them think that we're not at their gates.
Yes.
You know, like, I don't want to be too violent, but you know, I've got a pick and a what's that thing called? With a hay? Pitchfork. That's the one. That's the one. Pitchfork. Yeah. I'm ADHD. I forget words. I'm also a writer, so that's really good fun. I'm also RSD, so this is a nightmare, because after this, I'm going to be thinking, what did I do wrong? Oh my God, what did I say? Did I swear too much? I don't think I swore enough. But honestly, I think that's all I've got to say. I just want to let everyone here know that we are continuing to fight, and it's so good to see so many people here. And it didn't even rain that much, so that's nice. So thank you very much. Have a good rest of the day.
Okay, we now have a 15-minute break, so go and talk amongst yourselves, and then we'll be back with Helen Hayes, the chair of the Education Select Committee.
There you go, I'll just get out in a minute. What do you think, guys, so far? Guys, I'll give you a bit of background about me and I am quick. Whenever I say I'm doing something, I am quick at doing it. So I have got learning disabilities myself. My family has fought to get me into SEN education for high school and sixth form. I went to boarding school and I loved it. My sixth form was where my independence burst. Was where I got the confidence to do what I'm doing. Where I got confidence to do everything that I am doing nowadays. And my speech didn't come on straight away. My speech, do you know when I don't say my R's sometimes? Like protest or rally. Then because I struggle to say R, pronounce my R's. And I wish these trolls that are going for me on a regular basis because of my speech and stuff like that would just stop and let me just do what I'm doing. I'll just take pictures of your signs.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'll just get one of yours as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, I will actually. Amazing, thank you. And basically, guys, I have seen posts in the group, yeah? And I won't mention that group, but I will do live about them again at some point, where they take a piss out of my speech. And like, I will back these lies 100%. I will back them the whole way, these protests. On the 17th, and I'm on stress again, on the 17th of January, there's going to be a massive rally and protest out there. And we're going from, I just missed a call actually from the police, but I'll be back in a minute. Let's see Michelle. And we are going to be fighting for the education on the 17th of January. And I just missed a call from the police. So I'm live streaming.
Oh dear.
I went back after.
Yeah, Jade's going to do stewarding as well.
Thank you. Fantastic. Yeah, we need at least 100 for size of my spectrum.
Yeah, and I've got another 5 who've already confirmed definitely, and I've got other ones who hopefully will be confirmed.
Well,
in the next
I'm planning if work cancels the match at work, we'll have them lot doing it with us.
Oh, fantastic! Well. Excellent.
But down to if they can get out, but if whoever cancels the match.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like other priorities, isn't it?
And that reason why I want Tommy Robinson ones on Saturday, and she said she'll be one of the lead stewards for us in the day.
Okay.
And she's a very good friend of mine as well.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
So, but Howard stewards will be basically for the march will be linked arms, and nobody can go in front of them.
Okay.
Apart from the banner.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But we will need the banner people can hold.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. Well, once we have a better idea of what's going on here, so we can work out the correct messaging to bring.
Yeah. I think
messaging to hug everyone
I'm
up.
just thinking education. So help fight for education or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't really message anything really then, because
let's see what happens here.
Yeah, because that's the problem. We get these difficult bits with the different bits, because obviously they think they're helping fighting for education as they're destroying it. So and again, you've got people's different perspectives on whether academies are good or bad, or whether independent schools are good or bad.
Help fight for homeschool.
Yeah, so we need to sort of like make sure that it's a message that all of us can be on board with. So, but we've got a few WhatsApp groups which actually link the SEND community as well with the home education groups. So we can have a conversation about what message can we put on a banner that won't lock any of us out. Because sometimes people think they're being helpful,
but they're not.
When it actually can do damage to a different cause.
Yeah. Like people are just saying alive mental health in schools as well.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think Harry Redknapp is over there. I think Harry Redknapp has got made an appearance. I don't know why he has. I looked up for speakers for R1 at 17, celebrities in the whole med, and he are not on there. I don't know why. I think he got an SEN child actually.
There's a lot, and people don't necessarily advertise that. It comes across everybody.
Is it Harry? Is it definitely Harry, Ron? Is it definitely Harry? It is, isn't it? That's definitely Harry Redknapp, isn't it?
She's sort of wandering around with the problem. Just so you're aware, the lovely tall gentleman there is an MP for Horsham.
I gotta get him on live then.
Yes, go join him.
I'll definitely do that.
Oh, it's only 1 o'clock. Yeah.
I know, I'm gonna try and get him on his own. No, I will manage it. I have done it before.
Oh no, I've taken my words, I've taken my piece.
Have you?
He's on our side apparently.
Alright, I'm going to try and get Harry. Well, let me do this one and I'll get Harry.
And they did say, like we decided to select it. We're born with it, it's in the genetics. You've got no choice.
I mean, obviously numbers have increased very greatly. I don't know why. COVID is one of the reasons, but it's not the only reason. Yeah. But either way, we cannot. The solution is not simply to just cut access with no other choice. So I do. No.
I mean, I represent children with special language challenges, and that's been one of the, if you need speech language therapy, then you just won't get any LC, and it's just...
Maybe trying to interview the teachers, that's just not school.
I strongly believe that we need to focus mainly on the community.
Oh, bless them. Oh, you want their teachers? Can I quickly get you on here? I'm an independent YouTuber.
Oh, you'll have to ask someone else, not me.
Okay. I'm an independent YouTuber.
Okay.
And I'd like to get your views. If a kids cannot be on YouTube, I understand.
I don't think we'll do the kids, but there are some parents.
No, just like you or something like that.
You could ask the parents.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So they've got some parents.
I can't, alright then. Yeah. Come back to them in a minute and try and get. I want to get the school teachers more than anything nearby their kids, isn't they? I really want to get this one.
I go on to have job success.
Hello. Hi, I'm just trying to nab him.
You would be expecting zero.
Before the speeches start that.
If you give them a proper service, proper conditions and support, which they have. But what is great for families and those kids, but what is the saving to the state? Those kids can support themselves for the rest of their lives.
That's it.
I think as parents as well, we're happy to be supported. We're, I'm sure you would far more maybe
No, okay, not them. How much now?
A behaviour child.
It's very limited. Children to
Get this out of the conversation. It's like if they educate us, mustn't do that because they're giving them over No. Educate us, work together, and we can support our kids. We don't want to have people coming
I think the government needs to ring fence as well. Well, the government's promised to work cross-party on this and be inclusive, all of which did not happen under the welfare law. But that ended badly for them. So I am hoping that they will take a different approach this time, because I really think they're very bad. And again, they did, because I don't think there's an MP in the House who doesn't know this.
You said this is a very big issue. I agree.
Yes.
So why we get relegated if in the nicest term possible, we're relegated to the second last year of college, Westminster Hall. I mean, okay, I agree the parliamentary petitions committee do a lot in the Westminster, but surely this should be a bill that's on the floor of the House.
The Westminster debate is not a bill. It's not a bill. It's called a petitions debate. It's not. It's a debate. It's not legislation. The government is building consulting on everybody, hopefully, over the next few months. That will lead to a bill. So this is not the bill.
So it's the groundwork to just discuss it.
It's all. We've actually had many debates on this subject. This is another. It's all part of the pressure, and to focus the government's attention.
To Westminster Hall when they should really be on the floor of the House.
It's actually where petition debates they always come to Westminster Hall, as far as I know.
I've got 20 years of experience of MPs, unfortunately. There's been no UQs on this. There was a debate on the floor 2 weeks ago in which several of your colleagues got very rudely interrupted on, and I was fuming because doing this. They were interviewing on a pointless basis. It just seems to me they do not want to talk about this issue. They want to just quiet the house on this issue.
I think, in all honesty, they are aware of it. It has been raised by a lot of. The scheduling of the debate I cut out. I have no idea. But I think there is no question the government understands this is one big issue that they absolutely. I'm sure they're scared of it because money is money, and Rachel Reeves has got.
You've got to put money somewhere.
No, I know. But that's not my job. That's her job. So I don't doubt. It's a very difficult problem to solve. There's no question of it. With the best in the world.
You've got key areas like. I didn't realise till recently. So when the teacher does their qualifications, they only get a week's training out of that for understanding issues. So you as an MP, you go in the House and you're very friendly of MPs, you do your job. But if you're sending in yourself to teach a bunch of children, but you're hamstrung by only having a tiny little bit of information about how to handle it.
Go back up with me, come back over to you, let that MP talk to the public before I nab him for an interview.
Okay, that's fine.
So all one went really well last week. We even had a police liaison that I'm trying to get to do our one, watch it on live.
Okay.
But he watches pretty much all my stuff.
That's fantastic.
And he said a way I managed that was really good. Like that reason why I stayed up front.
Yeah.
In case anything happened, especially when we got round the corner.
Yeah, it helps. Particularly with so much going on at the moment. It's quite an undressed type of situation, isn't it?
Massive.
The government are getting so much wrong.
Oh, they are. Even I know that.
It's like every day there's another thing that they've got wrong, and the key thing is they're just not listening to anybody.
Yeah.
I was reading through their they did the consultation response to the alternative provisions, and I was reading through that, and pretty much every time the parents don't agree with it, they've ignored the parents' voices and the providers' voices, but just gone with the local authority voices.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's like, they already know local authorities get it wrong.
I love you haven't got a banner out again. I love you got on it all.
Well, that's why I rolled it so that it's because the rest is a different message, but this still affects SEND.
Yeah.
And, you know, particularly like when I read the consultation response, it actually states in there that children at alternative provisions are going to be in scope of the Children Not in School Register in this bill. And people just haven't realised. It's like, which is ridiculous, because if they're in alternative provision, they were on a register already of the alternative provision, but they're still going to be in scope of this, which means parents might be in scope of a school defence order. It's like,
with me as well, like I was in SEN schools for sixth form and high school, and my parents had to fight to get a funding for it. That's the issue. Every single parent in SEN has gone through.
And that's the thing, it's like, just making it more difficult does not provide extra placements. If you've already got children outside of placements, why are you making it more difficult? So alternative provision is not full-time, but at least that's some part-time education. So why are you trying to make it even harder to even access alternative provisions? It's like, because that's better than having no placement and no school at all. It's like, they really don't understand education and different children's needs. It's
not quite. Like, one thing we do need the MPs talking in the 17th, if we can. Especially the educational sector, if we can. Get hard to come out and speak.
Well, it depends who is in that position by then.
Yeah.
Because the current one has made it crystal clear they won't. But obviously they may be in a different position by then, so we may have actually justify their policy as opposed to just ignore everyone, or, you know, as the FOIs show, just not meet anyone on it, even when everyone's begging. Can you at least listen to our concerns? You know, at least pretend that you're listening. But, you know, you haven't even got that. So, you know, hopefully by then as well, because January's a few months, everything seems to be changing. Hopefully by then there might be someone in a position who actually cares about children and education.
I'm going to try and get a UKIP guy, Nick, to speak. He's a very good friend of mine. And I mean, I film a lot of his events, and
it would be nice if we managed to get an MP from every party to talk on their position on education. That would be quite nice, but I don't know how feasible that is. But we have got a little bit of time.
Well, I can email James Murray. He's my local.
Yeah, and I know a few people are going to the different party conferences and stuff, so there might be scope for that, because we've got a lead time to potentially do that. If we could get someone from each one, that would be quite nice, and let them then tell us what they're going to do, and, you know, start listening. Because that's the thing, they're just not listening to what children are asking for or parents are asking for.
It'd be also nice to get a couple of kids to speak on the 17th.
Well, I know Alice would quite happily speak. So, you know, and I know there's a few other ones who have indicated they want to speak. It just depends what our overall message is, because again, we want to be balanced.
Yeah, no, I got my speaking on behalf of the disability community. But I might have to be the police point of contact on the day as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, you also don't want to sort of wear yourself completely out.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, but we still need you.
I know.
We need you.
But then, like, after the home ed fight, we got another fight starting up. Education.
Yeah.
And this one as well.
Yeah, well, all of that sort of, it's all, and the thing is, there's no harm, because even like the VAT bits and stuff like that links into SEND and links into, you know, child's right to education and parents' responsibility to ensure their child receives the education.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough options for a parent to choose from, how can a parent enable their child to receive the education? You need options.
I'm shocked. Then I'll be over there every day. They got panicked me the other day in case they were out and I was walking past them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because basically our stage would be basically down there, where we'd be backing on to Big Ben. But basically got a route will lead us into Whitehall.
Right.
It's a route I picked. Come over, it's all flat. I'm not sure it was. It's all flat. It's the same route as the county did on Saturday.
Okay. Okay, so it goes through quite a few landmarks as well.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah.
That was my chosen.
Yeah, which is always good.
So yeah, and I like, at least then we can then stop near Trafalgar Square and get a big picture of a whole march. I think it's more press ideas more than anything.
Yeah, no, but we need that to come from that angle, that's the reality.
Yeah.
We need to come from that angle. And if we're making it so that it is the fight for education, the fight for children's rights to education, then we need to make sure that we've thought all those things through.
Yes, and we will have by the time it comes around.
We've got time to work that out.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have blocks from each area, like SEN, Home Egg.
Thing is, that doesn't work too well because a lot crosses over.
Yeah.
That's the thing, a lot crosses over. So it just becomes tricky. Have we got another speaker back there?
I can't really hear them back here, can you?
No, well, I've been watching through your live stream, so
I'll go back up then and get back in there. Give my live a share, yeah? I have. Thank you. Sorry guys, I'll just get back through. Sorry guys.
So I will now hand over to Amy. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please carry on following us.
I just want to thank absolutely each and every one of you who has shown up today and shown the support. I've been there, I've been in the depths of the fighting, much like most of you have been. And I promise that I will keep going and I will be your voice for each and every one of you going forward, and I will not stop until there is a change. So I just want to say thank you for you all coming, and yeah, you've all been incredible. And thank you to every one of our speakers and my steward team. I couldn't have done it without them.
Amy, how do you get you, I'm an independent YouTuber, independent journalist. Can I just get you to say to camera why today is such an important day and what your plans are for the future?
And that's how today happened. I had a glass of wine, didn't take my ADHD medication. I was like, I'm not giving up. They did a great job. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know I'm not going to give up, and I will keep fighting, and I will keep pushing, and I will make sure if it's the last thing I do, there will be some positive change for everyone.
Thank you so much. Literally, I'm behind you 110%. And CP, my platform will be supporting you 110%. I got disabilities myself. My family has actually fought for education for me. I'm 30 years old now, but I went to boarding school, and they had to fight, go through tribunal to my sixth form. So I get exactly where you're coming from, 100%. And I would like to invite you to speak on the 17th of January. There is actually going to be a massive rally and march, Combustion Square, down to here.
If you give me in writing,
I will. I'll message you.
Not remember.
I'll message you, and you're more than welcome to speak, literally. But this has been amazing, 110%, and you.
So I need my team to start going around and cleaning up. Thank you. Oh, are you still
Another speaker. I just had Amy, the organising camera.
Yeah, I saw you.
And I just mentioned it to her, and I'd have to speak.
Well, Jade and Amy are quite in contact.
Fantastic.
I think they're meeting after this as well. But yeah, Jade and Amy are in lots of contact about things as well. So.
No, this has just been amazing today. Literally. I'm out now till Wednesday. Trump. With a protest against Trump.
Yeah.
It's against that one is, so.
Yeah, no, I'm working most this week.
Oh yeah.
Other than Thursday, but Thursday Dara's got a group holiday, so.
Oh right.
So I can't even get into, because the House of Lords obviously has 2 committee days this week, and I probably won't be able to make either of them, because I normally like to at least go for some of it, but.
Right, let me wrap this live up. Thank you for watching, guys. As always, I will clip this and post it out on social media as well. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah.
My dad's been watching.
No,
you.
CP. I'm CP.
Okay.